20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay. Rap your city. Let me see the mic. Rap your city. Give me the mic. Rap your city. I got you. Rap your city. I'm gonna tell you how mine. Rap your city.
It's time for us to go live, so rep your city. I really would appreciate if y'all roll with me. Feeling this music cause it makes me wanna step. And if you don't want it to, then you lying to yourself. Cause every time we party, we gon' have fun. I don't know about you, but I'ma rep where I'm from.
Rap your city. Okay. Rap your city. Let me see the mic. Rap your city. Give me the mic. Rap your city.
Welcome to the RYC Live show this evening. I am your host for tonight. My name is Artistic, and this is Rep Your City Fresh Friday. So, how's everyone doing out there tonight? It is Friday night, Fresh Friday night, that is, and I'm chilling here in the headquarters of Chicago at the studio. And we have another special episode tonight. We have my man, the one and only, the legendary Slang Rock. He will be coming out shortly, but before we bring him out, we like to just say peace and love to everyone. Uh, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube page. That's RYC Live on our YouTube page, and hit that subscription button. We appreciate all those that continually show love and support by following us and connecting with us. If you like this programming, please continue to show your love. Share the broadcast. Share. Engage with us tonight. If you have questions, please make sure you mention the questions or comments in the comment area. And, sit back and enjoy the show. We do this each and every Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you like to be a guest on the future show, please send us an email to ryclive@yahoo.com. That's ryclive@yahoo.com. And someone from the team will get back to you to book you on a future show for a future date. Don't just sit back and watch the program, but engage with us on the program. Let us know you're watching. Tune in, make a comment. You know what I'm saying? Share the broadcast, tell other people about it, and all that other great stuff. Y'all, you know what to do. Let us know you're alive. You know what I'm saying? Let us feel the pulse. You know what I'm saying? So, before we get into our interview segment tonight, we like to encourage everyone. This is our last weekend before we open up the museum. So we will be opening back up with a brand new exhibit Monday, July 1st. So that's Monday, July 1st. You can come down to the museum. We're located at 4505 South Indiana. We will have a brand new exhibit. Okay, for anyone that has not been to the museum as of yet, this is our 4th year we're going into. So we suggest and encourage you to come on down and check it out. Great stuff. Great vibes. Great history. So come check us out. We'll be open Monday at 12 p.m. And I'm off for the entire week at my other job next week, so I will be at the museum pretty much every day next week. All right. So hit us up. Hit up my brother Kingdom, my brother Brian Gorman. Let us know. You can book a appointment on our website. That's chhhm.com, and that's short for Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum. All right. Also, too, real quick, this is another public service announcement. So for any of you who are participating in this historical photo shoot that we're going to be doing by my man Ronnie Boykin, Ronnie Boykin Jr. That is going to be taking place in front of the museum. Is representing all the elements, okay, from 1980 to 2015. This is his project. It's going to be taking place July 27th at the museum right out front. And in order to participate in this historical photo shoot, you have to fill out a form. So if you go online and you go to an awesome day in Chicago, go to the page. There is a link where you can click on and fill out a short form. It'll only take you like 10 minutes. Put in all your information, so that, you could be properly credited with being in the photograph and all of that great stuff if you want to be a part of this historical photo. All right. So that's July 27th. That's going to be the closeout of our Hip Hop Heritage Month at the museum. So something to keep forward to look forward to and lock in on your calendar. All right. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my brother. We go back. This brother is a legend here in the scene of graffiti writing here in Chicago and abroad. He's a professionally acclaimed artist that travels the world. One of the elite artists, that is, too. And has, such a long resume and great body of work. And I finally have gotten a chance to sit down tonight to build with this brother. I'm so excited and looking forward to it because it's long overdue. And I just want to say this to everyone that's tuning into this segment tonight. Please, we don't know how much time we got left, okay, on this earth. So share flowers with your peers, share flowers with your homies and loved ones while you can. Okay. Life is short. Get rid of the egos and all the other negative spirits and egotistical pride issues and all this other just bad vibes. Get rid of that stuff. Work on trying to get rid of it at least. And build with your family. Build with your family. Build with your friends, build with your crewmate, and let's enjoy each other while we still can. That's what this platform right here is all about. Rep your city where you can, while you can, and let everybody know what time it is. So without further ado, let's introduce our homeboy, the brother Slang One in the building. Let's bring him in.
What's up, Mr. Man?
What's going on, my man? How you doing? Let me put on the background screen real quick. Okay. Put the name up. There we go. All right. So we got it there, representing there. Yep. Slang is a long time in coming, man. I just want to first of all thank you, my brother. You're looking good, well and seasoned. You know what I'm saying? And, it's great to be able to sit down and have these discussions, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully this won't be our last.
I'm sure it won't.
Yeah.
Hold it around. I'm going to make no mistakes for a minute.
Yes, sir.
I always say I'm going to probably go out. I'm going to slip on a banana peel and hit the fire hydrant. I'm going to go out some way silly. I ain't going to go out. I think I'm going to go out shaking in bed. Like, yeah, he really slipped on a half a cantaloupe and bust his head in the fire hydrant. Boom.
Yeah. So listen, man, I just want to say thank you too again, first of all, for all your contributions up front and in the door, because I'm proud to be a part of our rich history here in Chicago. And and we have a lot of great artists here in Chicago, and I don't think we do enough justice to one another to be to show the value to one another as much as we should. Yeah. And so that's why I wanted to take the time out tonight to do just that in regard to you and all your body of work from over the years. And so what I like to do on this during this program, I want to go all the way back to the beginning, because not only are you a dope artist, but you was a b-boy too.
Yeah.
So let's go all the way back to the beginning and tell the viewers, what community were you from when you got into hip hop, when the bug bit, so to speak? Where were you living at in the area of Chicago?
West Side. I was West Side, 600 block of Central Park, over
Okay.
there by the conservatory, Garfield Conservatory.
Okay.
That's where I lived in the 70s, into the 80s.
Okay.
Um, early 80s, moved over into the Wicker Park area over there off of Ashland,
Okay.
Milwaukee, and what's that? Ashland and Division. The Noble Square, the big building there. That's
Okay.
when I was really b-boying. I remember, that's when I remember moving furniture out the way. When Rockbox came on,
Right.
when you first saw Rockbox, the Run DFC joint. But even back before then, I was doing it, but I wasn't doing it.
Okay. Okay.
If you ain't got a quarterback spin, you're really laying on the floor.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know?
Okay. So let's talk about it because we know that New York have their own history, but
Mhm.
I like to always pinpoint because even here in Chicago, we have some of our peers that have migrated from New York
Mhm.
and come to Chicago, and and got and that's how some people in the different communities got exposed just because they might have had a neighbor, that lived right there on the block that was from New York.
Yeah.
So what was the influence for you? I know for me, I didn't have anybody in my neighborhood that was from New York. So ideally it was because of watching stuff on TV
Yeah.
and things of that nature. But how was that? How did it all start for you?
Yeah, man. I think what was that was shit. It was a mixture of a lot of things. It kind of came in a little bit. You could think about like some of the stuff came in through different areas outside of hip hop, but it was the old Sugar Hill stuff. The first real exposure to like b-boy, and I remember that you see it pieces in things, but before the movies, remember That's Incredible had did a segment on New York City Breakers back
Yes.
in the days, and I remember me and my brothers and sisters watching it like, whoa, now that's really incredible. I almost want to say they had like a something segment on something else too, but it was also a 70s movie. I like to say it was a 70s movie. Look it up for me. It's like Dreams Don't Die. It was a movie. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
Dreams
yeah,
Don't Die. I saw that early, way
yeah,
before I even hit a train or anything or came up with a name.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what name I called myself. So
Right, 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 right. And I think you mentioned before in one of your interviews, you made a comment about, viewing the train,
mhm.
the subway trains in New York on the television film.
Oh, Welcome Back, Carter.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you go.
yeah, we had dude, we bit back then. That was like damn near before. That was like 74, 75. But I remember, we was kid TV kids, man. You fell in love
Yeah,
with all the theme songs, whether shit
yeah,
the Monkeys and shit, whether it was, the Brady Bunch or, you know, the Jeffersons. You listen to some of those hymns. I mean, they was written by the dope people. I mean, think about what's that? You remember Verb Schoolhouse Rock?
right, right.
I get that thing in action. Give me a now. It's the fucking Pointer Sisters.
Yeah, man. Ain't
Pointer
that
Sisters singing that. So Welcome Back Kotter was super dope. But then we would see those. I saw those trains. I was drawing already. I was drawing
right,
as early as
right,
3 years old.
right.
Constantly. That was my thing. I'm true.
Yeah, yeah. And of course we can't forget Soul Train, right?
Yeah, Soul Train was, yeah, I was there too. One of my uncles, he had just passed away about 3 years ago. He was like a Soul Train dancer and a few other things on the side. But this interview, maybe young people watch my uncle. His name was Rick Black, and he told me some crazy stories through his time. But him and my uncle, they moved to New York at a point. They used to send pictures of them, doing like b-boy poses, like leather jackets, posed out at a
Okay.
club or something called the Spade. At one point, they moved at the late 70s, early 80s, and they made their way through New York. And I remember their family sharing pictures of that they would send, back then, mailing to my grandmother. And, we all be at a holiday and they'd be showing what my uncles are doing. And I'm like, look like it's real street out there. They have cool shoes. They were rocking. I had
Okay.
two uncles,
Okay.
but Jerry, my uncle Ricky, my uncle Moses.
Okay. Now, for some reason, Slang, it looks like the screen is freezing a
Is it?
little. Yeah.
Man, that's because I'm so cold, man. The screen is freaking out. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, it's the technology, man, or
Yeah.
the internet. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I could switch off. I got
Let's see.
on this thing. Is it freezing up a lot? I have no idea. From what I'm looking at, it just looks clear. I catch you clear. Everything you say is
Okay.
crispy. Like
Okay.
if I turned you up,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I can hear your voice, but the frame is like frozen.
Froze. Froze?
Uh huh.
Let me try to just put it straight down. Now, how's it sound now? Where's it at?
Well, I can hear your voice, but the like I don't see any movement.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let me go to some settings, man. Hold on.
Hmm.
Alright. Mike, everything's on. I could go.
Everything's gone.
Maybe I'll go to settings. I was looking at the settings earlier. It got the front ultra wide, and then it's got a regular camera too. I could go to that, just the front camera.
Okay.
Now, did that do anything?
Uh, it did, but it's going back into freeze mode.
It's still freezing.
Uh huh.
That's right.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but I can hear you.
That's where I'm at.
I can hear your audio, but I just
Oh,
but
you don't see me at all. That's interesting.
you well I can see you, but it's just froze. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know why that's because that when before we even went live, it wasn't doing that. But of course, I don't know. It's like you say, sometimes these connections can be weak and strong at in different times.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Slang. Is it do you have it? Is it a direct connect or is it off of the Wi-Fi signal?
It's probably off the Wi-Fi signal.
Okay.
Does you think that's making a difference? Because I could turn that off. I may come out. I may leave you for a minute, but I'm gonna just go directly with the internet I have on my iPad. So
Oh, okay.
see if that magic work. If it don't, man, we out here.
Okay.
I seen you draw a photo every 15 seconds.
Right.
animate the interview. All right, let's see. Oh, so now, oh yeah, I'm definitely.
All right, so I bear with us. I think it might just be a connection problem.
Yeah, maybe. So now this
Yeah.
is me on just the regular internet. Is that working?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, you mean tell me my T-Mobile is faster than the
Yeah, that's much better.
This is what I roam with. This I could use this at the airport and don't have to get on their system and all of that.
Okay, cool.
And I've always had it since I had my iPad, so switched it over a few iPads.
Okay.
That's about it.
You got enough juice? For it to, is it charged enough, or do you need to get?
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
I got
okay.
28.
Okay, cool.
And I got an exterior power joint, so I got backup.
Okay.
And a cord too. Dude.
All right, cool.
This motherfucker flies like. Oops.
That's right. What's up. That's what's up.
So it's clear now, then.
Yeah, it's clear. It's not freezing now. Cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like in your neighborhood, man, because I know for me, like in my neighborhood, it was no writers when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember obviously, most of us from Chicago, we lived in neighborhoods that was full of gangs. So, you go down the alley or something, you see a whole bunch of, different gang symbols on the garages and and poles and all of that, right?
First time I started seeing spray paint, that shit was definitely Playboy bunnies and characters with hats, long top hats on with canes and pitchforks behind them crowns and all of that. Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
That big on Church's Chicken.
Right. So, and that's another point that we're going to be showcasing at the museum too, is gang culture and the direct connection to hip hop culture. Because I know you mentioned that in a segment before too about how especially Chicago writers have picked this up more than any other writers around the world. The connection of how gang members wrote, and then they were very territorial with their markings as gang members, and how that converted over into the writers here in Chicago in a way unlike any other.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't visit like LA and stuff like that in New York even a little bit later than the 90s. for the first time. So the Tricks and Orcat did that, but I didn't. But I did, later 80s.
Yeah.
Go check out, Frisco first, Frisco and Oakland. And it was interesting out there. But I didn't experience LA. Now, LA I heard was a different thing, but one thing's for sure is that I was in denial. I think I even you'll find some old interviews of me without, when my beard wasn't all the way white. Like, yeah, man, it's all about hip hop. Even though I was going to the house parties, even though I had families full of Vice Lords and Gangster Disciples, I seen the Vice Lord march on Central Park back in the 70s, like
Okay.
we're talking about like Bud Billiken, like how many Vice Lords is it?
Right.
Nobody
Right.
was in the streets or any of that. So everybody was directly tied to that. I don't know, in my imaginary mind, that's when you start catching yourself, when you have those little endeared moments that you thought was, and then you find out that shit was a lot different than even what you thought.
Yeah.
You grow into a different truth.
Right.
And our different truthers, we was definitely motherfucking creative gangbangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
We was boxing, we was fighting, we was working our way through neighborhoods. Like we weren't worried about the motherfucking police. We were worried about the SDs. Hey, man, you gotta make this yard. So everything was a motherfucking. It was. I should not curse that much, but it was an adventure to make it to different areas.
Yeah.
Like police was easy to get away from. Well, not easy, but the bangers was a lot harder. You don't even know what's going down until you see that one dude going across the street sideways while other cats coming from behind. It's like, oh, that's what's happening.
Now, let me ask you, for you in your neighborhood, did you start with those two elements together, writing and breaking, or did one come before the other?
I would say writing came before the other, because if you think about how I advanced or had, I kind of always had, and I can say that I had ups. Like a lot of writers I had met when I got to high school, they were like drawing because they started writing. That was the thing that ignited them even into drawing.
Okay.
Me, I was drawing years and years before that. So when graffiti came along, I was like, damn, I want to do them funky letters too.
Yeah.
Or how are they doing that? Like the Welcome Back Carter thing that you had brought up. I remember like working on my drawings or trying to draw a crazy Godzilla scene, or and back then you gotta think we wasn't. Sometimes you get lucky and can find something in the TV guide, or you get this. My grandmother used to get the Sunday paper and just feed it to me, and I just draw everything. I was drawing the BC comics, Heathcliff, Garfield, Andy Cap, the letters, Family Circus, the Family Circus.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, like, and then when the movies would come out, when Star Wars or E.T. came out, or the older movies, I would emulate anything from the first Star Wars on out to any, like with the first Mad Max or something like that. You're looking at the composition and how it's laid out. I was drawing the characters and also drawing, the cartoons and comic strips.
Yeah.
Graffiti I kind of like mended lanes with that, but in between that, like as I was learning or trying to get a grasp of the graffiti thing, the b-boy and shit, man, it hit hard in the 80s. Me, I would say I started rocking at least, like I would say 7th grade was when I had moves. I was whack for a minute. I was, everybody.
You're right.
Everybody like it. The cats make it sound like they just came out the womb with a freeze. Nah. You had to work at it. You had to put in work. You had to put the benchmarks in to be fresh. Because if you thought you was fresh, then you ran across some cat randomly. Then we started seeing cats pop up from the south side, the north side. I'm like, man, it's cats that's ill everywhere. I mean, you remember Steps.
Right.
MCs you never even heard of. Then they just, boom, where does this guy come from? That's where Ants first rocked at. Ants 13.
Right. Now, let me ask you, in your neighborhood, was it any, prior to you coming out, was there anybody in your neighborhood that you kind of look to and be like, oh man, like who is that?
It's always that cat. Like back then, at that point in time, it wasn't a lot of cats around. So I remember that cat, a kid that was in another classroom or something like that. And when the school had like some little party or somebody that one kid could take you out, he's like, damn, you got more moves than me.
Right.
I was the advanced, hey y'all, I know how to do that stuff on That's Incredible a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you run into that motherfucker, they do it a lot. They got a combination I'm like, man, wait a minute. He makes 3 moves with 1. I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
let's get in my helicopters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't come
Right.
out bust pennies on you. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the next time you see pennies is on Beat Street. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, dude.
Man, like every time I have this conversation, it just takes me back because we had so much fun, man. It was a
Yeah,
time
yeah.
when we had our youth on our side,
Yeah.
and just going out dancing, man, on the streets of Chicago was so much fun back then.
Yeah.
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 Well, it was fun discovering. I remember the discoveries because like I met cats like that's how I met Trickster. I met Trickster through Peely and Akbar.
Okay.
Those guys, they went to Von Steuben. I went to Von Steuben somehow.
Also, Peely went to Von Steuben with you?
Man. Peely was a grown man. Peely was like Warp. You remember when you first
Oh,
met
right,
Warp? Oh, you a grown man. This a grown man. He was like, we're badass kids. We did this the menace. We was like, let's tear shit up. Let's hit the train. At them cats, you like, damn, dude, your mustache connect with your chin. You got real facial hair. And that's even when you got more facial hairs than this cats at school. Yeah, so yeah, that was the deal. And remember we met Warp, man. I always say that's the one right there.
Yeah.
That he's the center of it and shit, We Chicago had a logo, a logo for the culture. That's Warp.
Right. Right.
Or you could juggle them. There's Tricks too. Tricks is always that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the legends, man.
Yeah,
the
legends.
Yes,
man. And we got to figure out something on the orgo. We this one's just started. It's hard. I was going back and forth with the son. The son was sending me some stuff, and I've been so busy. I need to reach out and shit. But he it's something. You had that conversation with Rodney. I wish I was a fly on the wall with that one. When you did the interview? Can I ask you? I'm not trying to switch it around. But how long did you and Rodney rock?
Oh, we talked, man. Probably about we talked about maybe almost 2 hours.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours.
Okay.
And you know how he's always moving on the go.
Yeah,
So we had a couple of interruptions, and then we had to pick it back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but he dropped jewels as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking stuff down. So that's what I appreciate. And Tricksters was good too. Yeah. It was. So I feel like when we tell all of our stories and we put them together, you can begin to see all the pieces of the puzzle create the picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the cool thing, man. Like I feel like all of us can't really tell our story without a part of someone else's story.
Yeah. It was all interconnected. The whole thing, that shit was basket woven.
Yeah.
We were all everybody in the city. I mean, eventually we all pretty much discovered everybody before technology. We was getting up with each other from payphones in the street.
Right.
Like yo, where you at? Yo, like I still can't figure out the math behind those meetings, man. However they did them meetings, I like, damn.
Yeah.
That payphone status, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or your mama yelling at you in the background while you're trying to be real with one of your guys. Your mama yelling to tell you she's gonna knock your head off if you don't take the garbage out. You're like, wait, hold on. I'm having a big boy conversation.
Right. And I think those meetings were pertinent to our development too, man. Like I remember going to a lot of these meetings because for the first time, these meetings helped us to become introduced to the other artists that we didn't even know.
Yeah, we met. I mean, we meet writers you met writers on the line, but then those first meetings, man, that was Chicago's introduction.
Yeah.
To so many different worlds, many different lanes. It was each side of the city.
Yeah.
All nationalities. A lot of brothers there. I remember it was certain ones that we won't see again, but it was an integral part. Like the idea, the concept of it. I don't know. I feel like I was honored to be born at an interesting place in time that could even merge with that lane. Because did you even almost think it was as special, end up as special as what it was? like from what we was looking at from that perspective, it was just really cool. Like, damn, this is a whole lot of graffiti writers,
Yeah,
you know,
man. Yeah.
and breakers, b-boys, and MCs too.
Yeah, yeah,
Still
yeah.
to this
We
day,
were
some of the dopest.
yeah. Now, which one was your first crew? Did you have a crew, like a
I guess
neighborhood
the
crew
first
or
crew I got in, I guess was it CMC UFO?
oh okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chicago Master Creators, Unstoppable Force. You know,
Nice.
organization. I don't know how we got organization on here. Still getting pennies thrown at us. But
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's
mhm.
up. Yeah, I got a picture I got to show you or send you that I
Okay.
took back in the '90s, and I'll probably look at the back of the picture to see where it was at. But it was a picture of you doing a chair freeze,
Hmm.
and it was a nice shot on at one of the
Hmm.
clubs we used to go to back in the day.
Okay. Uh, I wasn't. You sure I wasn't falling? And you thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was
I
good.
need to practice some more though. I catch these cats now, man. They're doing death-defying moves. They don't
Man,
turn.
tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It's harder than an Olympic event. It's
Yeah,
fresh. It's
yeah,
involved. That b-boying is definitely involved. Oh, everything has though.
yeah,
Every,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
But
So
that thing, man, Warp. Shout out to Warp, man.
yes,
Keep that
yes,
done.
yes. Shout
So,
out to Brother Warp. Yeah, man. Always
mhm.
showing love and representing the righteous way.
Always, right, man? Most righteous. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but give props. You know, it's
You know,
just
I went to school
like
with
go ahead.
I was gonna say I went to school with Trans and Storm and the rest of the
Yeah,
IEC
them the
members.
guys, man.
And I remember,
IHC and what school
yeah,
was that y'all went to?
we went to Dunbar.
Okay. All right.
And I remember these dudes look they was the essence of hip hop, man.
Yeah.
Every time I seen them,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't even know them at that time.
Yeah.
But when I first went to high school, that's when I met them. And I'm like, I look over at them from a distance. They be all huddled around the lockers with jean jackets and
Yeah.
no buckles.
You got any pictures of them guys?
I do.
Oh, man, you got that. I'm coming. I'll follow through.
Yeah.
I love to do me an IAC like I see them with some cats. Like if I do characters, it's a cats or a crew from back then.
Yeah, man. They was
All them dudes was big. They was like one of them was talking about, yeah, man, that little motherfucker he was up there with that peace boogie. We talking about me. I said, no, motherfucker, y'all was bigger than other.
Yeah. They were big. They were big guys.
Yeah, they was like small sis or something like that. Y'all
Yeah.
don't let no small crews in that small
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah. Yeah. And
They look like they was holding radios when they didn't have no. You know?
And what's so crazy is, like they were a big influence on me back then.
Okay.
And when I talked to Trans and I asked him who influenced him, he referred back to Warp.
Yeah.
So it's all like you say, it's we all interwoven.
Yeah. Without it. I mean, now, like, oh man, there is nothing at that time that you can compare. Like, I don't know, that was like the audacity of a meeting in Cabrini Green, you know, at the YMCA.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's so
I can't do nothing. Look, crazy man jackknifing in the garbage can and shit at the zoo up there.
Right.
Lincoln Park Zoo.
Do anybody know where his whereabouts is, Crazy Man?
No, I've only heard sightings, man. Like I've heard like he's good or whatever, but I ain't seen him in decades.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. It's like etched into my soul and consciousness. Like, oh yeah, he just took it there, and everybody riled him on and shit. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
So let's talk about how did you come up with the name Slang?
The Slang, I found it in a dictionary. I was S names. All the cats like, all the like the freshest writers that I like, like Scheme. I was a fan of Scheme before I became friends with him. Way before. I mean Scheme too later. And I got an interesting Scheme story for you. It takes you to outer space.
Okay.
The S's, man. It's something about the letter S, Okay. And I do know, like Stain was at my school. He had Stain before I had Slang.
Okay.
I was looking for an S name. It was like it's a bunch of cats. If it was from the Pacific, came with his name later, but someone was there. We had Sax, from CTA. Then also, man, all the writers, you go through somewhere, you like all the S's, and it's something about the S. Well, but S's, even when writing it in different type of font faces or something like it, so it's almost like the figure eight.
Yeah,
Golden
that's
Ray.
true.
I got rhythm to it, just like that thing that we're mostly attracted to as far as letters and styles. How funky is it? How does it look like it moved? Does it look like it's got a continuum like vibration to it? So yeah, it was the S deal. So I went going home and looking in the Webster dictionary. I remember at one point not going to hang with the guys. Well, I said, man, I gotta get a good name because I had a whack ass name. My name was like terrible. I had one of those names that sound like I just break. And it sound like I just broke because I was directly influenced with somebody, short, damn name, Shorty Fresh. That's fresh. It was only fresh only to like we didn't know, like, yeah, if you had a name that sounded like it was from Breaking to the Electric Boogaloo. So cats started having sensible and fresh names, or names that really meant
Yeah,
tied.
yeah,
I went name hunting. So I went through the S's and was reading the definitions of what it meant because I wanted not just a name that I could actually say and it was fresh. I wanted a name that kind of meant something.
yeah.
And so when I found I think about 2 or 3 days. I don't know. I read slow and shit. I finally made it to the SLs and it's and it's slang. And then when I read slang was
Yeah,
in a linguistic sense, it's like boom. It was what graffiti writers was to typography and style and all that, building those letters. Typeface is abstracting typography. So
yeah.
hey man, the street version of words. That's it. I went to school. I think I told Severe first. I'm like, yo, I got a name. And he's like, what? Slang. He's like, he was like, damn, that's a good one. I talked to Stain and everybody. I ran into like all the writers in the school. I said, Slang. So I just like was laying. I went to school and revealed the name. Like, got one.
Nice.
I'm no longer Dr. Q, which is what I like writing Dr. Q, and I was writing like Shorty Fresh, but it was more like breaking stuff with me trying to draw letters.
Yeah.
At a point, I was at
Yeah.
a school. I was at a school where everybody was definitely, not everybody, but we had a nice crowd, a nice crew of cats that were doing it. Yeah.
Now what grammar school did you go to?
I went well I went to a few different grammar schools. Man.
Oh, okay.
The one I left Ryerson to go to high school.
Okay.
So I did Ryerson was 3 years.
Okay.
We went to a lot of different schools. I'm sorry, I had childhood trauma. I said, man, I had about 5 different schools, but on into high school when I started like playing around with the b-boying and everything, that was Ryerson.
Okay.
West Side, a few blocks away from where I stayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off Central Park. What is that? Ohio, and what is that? What is it? Monticello.
Oh, okay.
Right over that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who was all that Von Steuben with you when you went there?
Everybody. Well, we had a bunch of cats. Curious George, Severe was there. Someone, like I said, Sax from CTA. Curious George, Harlan, those are guys, the CMC guys.
Okay.
We had a bunch of fresh cats in that Val, but most of them we were all writing like together there. Not everybody that was hitting the trains, but some guys was really hitting the trains, hitting them hard. Like his cats hitting the train. Stain is someone and those guys, they was definitely hitting trains before I was.
Yeah.
So me and Severe around the same time. We had a class together. I don't think me and Ack didn't have no class together. And, Ack was the one that went on and introduced me to Peely and then also, Trickster. So a lot of people, I guess the majority of people, even I run into today, think like it was like me and Tricks getting up with Ack and Peely. But it was more of a deal of them teasing me because of the way I sound. Because to them being New Yorkers, everybody from here sound like they're,
Yeah.
Country. So they'd be like, yo, he sounds just like Trickster. I was like, who's this dude? Y'all keep saying, yo, he remind me of Trickster. And I was like, you bugging and shit. I don't remind y'all of y'all boy. And they introduced me and Tricks. Me and Tricks like, man, they talking about how we sound. We was West Siders.
Right.
So we have we have the Southern thing. But
okay.
Everybody due to New Yorkers when I first met them or would even see like that hard New York accent. I'm like, it sound like a gutter English accent. You know what I mean? Guttural. You know, like they got that. You know, they have a slang. They have a slang. They have a sound. It definitely does. You know, sounds like. Well, I would say. I guess as they say, a more proper English in a sense.
Okay.
But
All right.
depending on what you think proper is, so that's a different deal. But you know, yeah. So, but
Okay.
from Verizon to Von Steuben, I need to look at, like, you know, was that Lawndale? I'm about in between over there, Lawndale, Monticello.
Okay.
So,
So
go ahead.
let's talk about your particular style. You know, now I met Oregon Tricks at the Wall of Fame in '87.
Uh
When just I met them the same day they were actually they had just got through white wall in the wall down for the Midwest Masters production.
huh. Okay, yeah, that was
Yeah,
the super killer. Yeah.
yeah,
I think I
yeah.
don't know what happened, man. I could have been on punishment or something. And my mom was hard on me. Oregon Tricks, they like my mom's, she was handing out beat downs, like big, you know. So I would make some of them, but I forgot. I do not. Maybe the guys could tell you if one of them probably remembered.
Yeah,
Or said,
yeah.
but I do know I missed out on that one. And then when they put it
But you helped with the with the production on that, right? Because you
up,
did the duck, right? Then you
no,
really
I
who
didn't
did
make
the duck?
that piece.
Huh?
Oh, just shit. I mean, that's probably tricks. Tricks are rocking characters.
Really? Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
know
man.
that. I thought you did the character.
No, man, I wasn't even there. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
that was at me getting mad. Like, how y'all gonna do it without me? I should have waited. That was our punishment, you know. Served me before. They should have just had that.
Wow.
But they
Wow.
was man, Tricks would walk in this crib anytime. His mother was just sweet as hell.
Yeah.
Hello, y'all want anything to eat? He was fresh 2 days ago. He already did 5 cars.
Oh wow, that's interesting. All this time I thought you did the characters on that piece.
No, they did that extra crispy. That was an undeniable one. No, they instated that whole whatever we call part of the museum. We call that one, the Hall of Fame over there. That was
Yeah.
they opened that one up. They
Wow, that's a revelation to me.
they stated
Man.
yeah, no, they stood that.
Yeah. That was super dope.
Mhm.
Now, but you did the wall, the
The Death Crew,
okay. So Matt, let me pull that up real
the
quick.
Unstoppable ones.
The
Yeah.
Unstoppable one. So this was done the same year though, right?
It's
87,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That was me going back because they you know. All right. That was me going to show the crew up. Like, all right, y'all, I'll go with my crew. So me Clean and Search.
Okay.
But Search, he was bombing for the most part, but he wasn't feeling production wise.
Okay.
But Clean went to go rack some cans, and he ended up getting locked up. So I had to knock it out by myself. We had a few colors that we wanted to rock, so I still put them up. But that was like the biggest legal production of that time.
Yeah.
Because remember, I covered it from end to end.
Yeah. So
One of the characters is missing, or maybe it's the way it's cropped.
okay, so you had the one on the right, and then you had what is that? A couple on the left side.
Yeah, it's two. It's two over there with the guy with the Diodora joint on.
Yeah.
The one on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah. I found some money over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And tires. I had to stack tires up. I didn't have a ladder.
Yeah.
Abandoned tires over there. So
I remember when the tires used to be out there too.
Yeah, man. I rolled one of them tires, man. Boy, the dirty money came off, man. So we took that money home, washed it down. It's definitely more than $150.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There's a bundle too. It's dirty as hell. I had to wash it on, but don't let me veer off and do my own.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, bro, you just like really that's a revelation to me, man, because like I said, I always thought you helped with that. I just know that when I met them,
I wish I did. Hey, I wish I did if I wasn't doing this interview. Yeah, man.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, like when I seen
everything, the house, I think that was all Tricks. I think Tricks did the characters, man. Tricks
okay, man.
He did the background and stuff like that. letters.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I remember, and I'm gonna just tell you this real quick because I don't think I've ever shared it with you. But
And cats that have real wrong rumors too and shit. It'd be weird. Like
so
I be around cats telling me, I'm like, all right, you say so.
so when I came down there, because I came with my homeboy,
Mhm.
and that was the first time we met Trix and Orc. And I remember coming down there and we introduced ourselves, and Orc was like, because they had just got through whiting the wall down. They was getting ready to paint. So they was like, they said, hey man, Orc was like, man, hey man, anybody else down here with you? I said, nah, just me and my homie. He said, all right, well, if you see any other writers, just tell them ain't nobody else here. Because he's like, so y'all gonna have to leave right now, man, because we about to paint. I was like,
Yeah, Orc's eccentric. He's eccentric. I was making friends, trying to make friends.
And look, we came. Well, at least I did. I came back down maybe a couple days later or something like that to see the wall. Just super dope, man. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it was the dopest piece. It was the dopest piece of that period in time.
Yeah,
it just was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I could say I did a big illegal joint, but I like that piece a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Wow.
Boys, they put it in. That's when Trish really like that style that still shows, it's undeniable. Like, like the concept of how cats rock or they do a lot of letters, like he is like the nucleus for like kind of style, the inherited style that has DNA through the thread of what most cats do now, even if they don't know that's where it came from. I developed a lot of letters myself, but there was certain things that Trix would do to just cut through time and space visually.
Wow.
He started tweaking something. I talked to him about something. He'd be like, "Yeah," he just light up. Like, and then we could, he come in and he just doctored something up. I was like, I don't know, you're getting too weird with it. But then you look at it and it's like, no, we're veering off from like the tradition, because for the most part we was biting in New York. I don't know if I really answered that. Like everybody started out as slower with it or whatever, and whatever it was you caught. I found that even cats that run around seeing other cats was biting, they was running around with secret, not sharing Subway art. It was cats I knew that had Subway art like at least 6-8 months before I seen it. Cats was putting it on their jackets. I ain't gonna say no.
Yeah.
I leave that one alone. I would pay respect to everybody.
Yeah. But that was definitely a learning lesson too, because that book, man, was almost like a reference for us.
I sound my beer on too much. I'll be right back, man.
Okay. So y'all bear with us for a moment. Slang will be right back.
Okay, cool. All right. I got to go break in the Henry's house to get my drum team James out in LA. He got that focus. Yeah. I'll go up through the window. All right. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this one right here, because I want you to tell your perspective of this night. I wish I was there with you, brothers, but every time I see images or hear stories about it, it always brightens me up. But the night y'all did the Harold Washington.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And it's so great that we have photographs of the work that was done that night. This is a more distant shot, but it's just great that what you guys did was documented. So what was that like, man, that night? Because I understand that y'all grouped up together, phone calls were made, and y'all made it happen.
That was warped. And then, those calls rang out. Everybody started hitting. I was with Skid and Orko when we got our call. We was over at Skid's house.
Okay.
We got a call. I think we were I think we were watching like a VHS of the Transformers or something like that. You know, the movie.
Right.
And so something like that. Yeah, I'm almost sure that we were watching that then. But it was just a series of phone calls, cold as hell.
Right.
Beyond cold, beyond any time I ever even want to go into the yards, especially unprepared. I know cats around the world, they go in super cold. But whew, man, we weren't ready for that. It was sub-zero degrees.
Yeah.
We're trying to do dedication trains for more than, 26 riders in the yards at a time, probably close to more, over that, to over 30.
Right.
Because it's so many riders, you just bump into cats and you didn't even know they was in the yards.
Right.
Cats. I remember in my mind getting to a point where I'm like, we so deep in here, it's a free fall. And with so many guys in here, by the time the cops make it to me, I hear somebody get gotten out the lane. So he was rocking. Warp was right down from us, And we had just posted up there. And I was really trying, I don't know what was on my mind. I was trying to do, a car by myself, the whole length, Harold Washington. I said, man, by the time I got to that S in Washington, I was like, ooh, gonna need some help here.
Right.
And Skid came, he was bombing trains. Everybody was doing like post-ups, like Harold Washington dedication, boom, boom, like kind of big stamps and stuff like that. I'm going in like, it's the summer of B Street.
Right.
Hands was hurting. So everybody figured, cats was still getting up. Cats everywhere you go. Cats, but that's Skid lost part of his finger because he caught frostbite that night. But it was just so many riders. It was one just from another one of them warp calls. And, he kind of briefed everybody. I can't imagine how many people he had to call, for the guys to show, the guys that were really showing up. I remember a whole lot of Southside cats definitely was in the yards, North side. It was some riders out west. We had a nice amount, but nowhere close to South side, North side.
Okay.
So, I would say South side kind of almost ran that night. Because I'm pretty sure everybody from Secret and all them guys was from outside.
Yeah.
And man, but it was that was a beautiful place in town. We went out there, like I said in many interviews, do something that was a voice, the voice of how we felt and appreciated,
Okay.
or, paying respect to when we lost her.
Yeah, and I think that was the beauty behind it all, because he was such a iconic figure to the community here in Chicago, that to the point to where the writers did what they did. I like to share this clip for anyone that hasn't seen it. It's a very short clip, but I think it's really relevant. And so this is a segment of you talking about it here. Let's see here. Let's play this.
Who is that through?
This is
I have a few of those. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. After the morning of Harold Washington's death, within probably 12 hours of getting the information, the train yards was filled with over 25 riders. We went in, if I can remember right, we went in from the platform into the yards through the side, kind of just jumped off the edge and walked on through. There we met, just every lane you went down in the train yards was just filled with riders running rapid, just hitting the trains. It was a night of mayhem, I remember, because there was so many graffiti riders. You couldn't tell who was graffiti riders or if the cops were sneaking in on us. So I kind of kept my peace below the window, because there was only a certain amount of time, and it was a really painful experience, like trying to paint for pretty much, an hour to 45 minutes to an hour, working on the train in sub-zero, degree weather. Mine was a series of blues. I remember bringing out blues. I really like blues. And sometimes I look at the pictures of the train and I'm like, I felt like I could have did better than that. But then I remember the harsh conditions and how cold it was. It was so cold that majority of us had to put our hands up our jackets and our pants,
one of my closest friends, the guy actually helped me out and aided me with doing the heroin Washington training, lost his pointer finger. He actually caught frostbite that evening. And to this day now, it just has, a nub of a finger. The Harold Washington train ran for at least a week that I know of. I gotten calls for that train for at least a week. Probably lasted longer than that. I was amazed that the CTA would actually let it run. Yeah, it was a point in history that it was a point in time where we acted pretty much out of emotion and love and admiration and wanting to go in and do something that counted. To us, it was our farewell to one of the greatest mayors of the city's history.
Yeah.
I must be getting old, man. Man, what was that? That was like that was probably it's like a 2008 or something like that.
Yeah. When I had
nine
and I
maybe.
and I had just stumbled across that online, and I was just like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this is so nice." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
I always, man, it's hard for me to listen to myself. I was like, ooh. That's it. But yeah, I guess but I was clear on that one.
Yeah.
I probably had to watch my interviews again to figure out what I said. Like, oh, yeah. But one of the things I do know is I'm right about that one. I think we was actually watching. I think we was watching like Unicron transform when we got the warp call.
Yeah.
The planet, the planet's turned into a robot. Hey, it's warp on the line.
Right.
And it was history.
Yeah, man. We have that piece actually in the museum as well.
Oh, word. All right.
Yeah.
I needed to remix it. I like that
Yeah.
one joint that when the Cats did the wall up there at at the Liberty Wall.
Uh-huh.
The flash wall up there.
Yeah.
I love what was that? When they had all the old school guys from Warp came back out.
Oh yeah. That was a great time too. Yeah,
that was a great
man.
time.
Yeah, that was.
PA and Orc was on deck too. They
Yeah.
had just ran back into each other, hadn't seen each other in decades.
Yeah. That was an epic day. That was an epic day.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, epic day.
So many of them. It was funny because Warp me was up top on the ladders. We were like, man, we looking at each other. Why they got the old guys up here up top? They should put us on the ground. But we got it done.
Yeah.
We rocked it.
Okay, here's another one. Now, this is some of your airbrush work, right? This is when the
Yeah.
So now this was at the shop too on 95th, right?
Yeah, that was in 95th Street.
Okay. So talk a little bit about that because I know you really pioneered this at that time with the rhinestones.
Mm-hmm.
You were one because like that was something that not a whole lot of people were doing at the time.
Yeah, we just kept trying to push like the boundaries after we kind of figured out. I remember seeing one. I was at some point I was able to see. I was mixing it directly, like everything was graph. I went from painting with acrylics and Vogarts to airbrushing a little bit later than a lot of the other guys. I remember cats like Akbar, like a lot of them cats from CTA, Nick Salsa, and those guys. It was cats that was airbrushing like earlier off. Me, I didn't start more so until like the 86, 87.
Okay.
But the airbrush, I played with it, but played with other people's joints. But I didn't get my own until a little later.
Right.
But then I developed from there. But I also was checking out how like those old Tony Lama jackets were being done back then. And so I would just observe it and figure out what I knew we was, Cass was using different things, different types of crystals. But, at some point we had figured we should start rocking the Swarovski ones. I think around the same time the Shirt Kings and all that was going on, but it was cats airbrushing like Miami Beach style, like t-shirts and shit like that. And then it was cats that was airbrushing shit, and it was just boom, going in with characters. I remember Akbar would show up with shit, and we was like, whoa, this dude just aced the market. He's painting acrylics or Vogarts and have characters on jackets and shit. He was doing for other writers. You see Curly on the line, they crazy. They bombing the trains and shit. And they got a B-boy themselves on the back of their shit, getting up on trains, jackets, dope denim jackets, back in the days. But that was the graffiti aspect of it. But then there was also the mixture from the Tony Lama stuff, mixing it in with the graph. But then also we were starting to try throw. We was trying to it moved up the lanes of like laying out real nice title credits, almost like the jacket itself was a movie poster.
Oh, okay.
So we went from that and just kind of almost started one upping. It's like you do character, you do realism, you stop putting backgrounds on it. Wait a minute, you do the whole scene. You see, I mean, they were doing it. You see those lead jackets and all, and all of those cats. I mean, you think about how we would see like New York we was definitely tracing New York directly, strongly influenced by it. And they was rock, all the writers back then. I remember seeing like rack photo joints and stuff like that. Back in the step stage, you see them cats like
Yeah.
cats to be rocking jackets, and it look like it's just straight up either a Von Bo scene or some b-boy scene where you could see that the style was strongly influenced by New York's late 70s, early 80s movement.
Yeah.
And you could see it. See it in most of the styles and cats that started really rocking the jackets, but with the airbrushing, I think it became a thing of once the realism started pulling in and environments, making the crystals work with that, and then also finding ways to prime the jackets and make it look, like polished, almost like we should start trying to give it more of a. I think we was thinking, extreme like fine arts. It's like, yo, let's, we're trying to do these. You're doing these giant letters, you're hand painting. We're working on these things for like, you can work on a jacket back in the days, 15 to 40 hours, depending on how crazy it was or how bad your grades was, because we was like, ooh, the cats was getting down.
Right.
They stayed on top of it. They must have been on top of it, but for the most part, we was just, somebody come back, they got something. The letters big, block 3D, busting through bricks and shit, Statue of Liberty in the B-boy pose. He's like, damn. So then you gotta go back in. Somebody, so the jackets, I think with all of the writers, everybody had to come with a fresh one. I think we came to the first meeting with jackets on, if I remember.
Okay.
But we had been doing it back then. That's when just hand painting or using those Bogart.
Yeah.
Bogart, and they was insane because really you're getting paint through this little thing like 9mm ballpoint pen. So you gotta sketch and draw and cover every. It's kind of monotonous to sit back for as long as you were just trying to color a character's blue jeans or something like that.
Yeah. Now, Slang,
45 minutes. But go ahead.
When did you open up the shop on 95th?
That was me and BJ, Norman Kerr,
okay.
Cazelli Fresh from MPC. Okay. He was one of the guys. He was the guy with the bright idea opening up the shop because we wanted to do it.
Okay.
We wanted to go, like I was working in malls, Ork was also, because I had followed up behind Ork when he worked at Brickyard Mall, and I got an offer at a kiosk to start working like those years when Ork got busy and started, he was making money through so many different sources, and he was helping this old man run a moving company.
Okay.
So, the airbrush lane was just kind of almost wide open on like the northwest side. I went to Brickyard, then also worked over there on I would say almost 2 weeks over, because it's crazy, but over there on Madison and Pulaski, in the flea market down there, Crack and this old man, they had that airbrush shop.
Yeah.
I went there and directly went to like a few weeks after working there, I got that run to go paint over there on Narragansett at the Brickyard, which was, super proper, and I was making money hand over fist, and BJ was one of those guys back then. We're talking about like, man, we was 15, 16. Like, man, we could do it too. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Go get a lease? Like, we're not even out of, fresh out of high school. Fresh out, I think. And it was like, but we just working regular jobs. And Jay was just like, man, we need to, I'll keep working for these dudes, man. We can just go ahead and open up our own business, And, Jay was a sharp one. He went to Stanford at one point. I think at one point he was got in trouble there and had to come back home. I know why, but I can't. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Like, man, why you do that, man? My sister. But the family know and everything. But we had opened up the store, and At one point, he went back to school though, and
Okay.
I just went solo. I think
Okay.
he hung in. He helped build the place out. We did all kinds of crazy stuff, sneaky shit to even get the lease to get the landlord. We actually, I'll be honest with you, we actually got this guy, the guy who I worked for at the brickyard. He was a fireman. Actually, and it's interesting. I'm telling the story here. He was a fireman. Andrew Penzak and his business partner, another Andy, who was a Greek guy. They had this thing called Shirts and Things, and that's why I airbrushed for them. I got the money to open that store through that and through dead gangbangers. Like if a gang dude or a guy that really was out there either on his mind or whatever it was. Usually the guys was like, yo, we need 50 shirts. So I do 50 shirts back then. I was doing them for $20 to $30.
Right.
That hit me up 50 shirts. I was like, man, I'm staying up all night airbrushing these shirts, assembly line style, laying 5 shirts up against the wall. And then meet up with the guy at McDonald's or in IDB Wells,
Right. Right. Right.
to exchange money with a big stack of shirts. I can imagine how shady that looked in the McDonald's over there on fucking Western and Washington. Where I'm showing up with bags of stuff, got me wads of money. Like, don't worry about it. My name's Slang.
Right.
Yeah, back then. Imagine that. But that's how it. But
So
then
now,
when I went to the mall, I mean, we got the money together. BJ was making money, and you kind of pull our money together, got a lease. What I did was I got the guy. Nobody would take us serious. We was trying to get in the Evergreen Plaza. We was trying to get where the main traffic was.
mm-hmm.
So, and we was young. People would laugh at us when we come in to ask for the lease. Like,
yeah.
you guys got to finish high school before you start opening up a business. Look at this, man. They're cute.
Right.
But I was like, I went and got the guys I worked for to act like they was our business partners, and then they was going to pull out. And if they would have told us they wasn't giving us the lease, then we'd be like, it's racism, or I mean, you can say that. I was like, yo, so what you just, I ain't gonna let kids. But I pulled the guy. It was funny because the guy tried to pull. He still keeps good contact with me. He hit me up online here and there. Andrew Pensack. He was liking the spot and wanted to be our partner. He's like, no, we just need you to help us get this lease. Right. So he shadily got the lease, if that's a strange story, but that's what we did. We had played it off like we had mature businessmen partners, that weren't, young brothers, and like slipped them a Mickey and got the lease, and boom, that's how we opened it up, really.
So what year was that, though?
Oh, my bad. I guess 1990.
1990.
Because I did 1990 to 94.
Okay.
94. My son was born right after that. Just left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
1990. Yeah, because Oric had tried to get me to come out there. I went out to Frisco at one point with Oric, that one.
Okay.
And I could probably give a little bit more time, but you can ask me any questions you want. But I was thinking about the nervous amount of work I got to do. I'll explain it to you later.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll pick up and do a part 2 another time. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you.
Hey, I'm all the way open, but the amount of pressure, I'm gonna tell you about it later. You have things are going all right, and I gotta get Rocky mode like that.
Yeah.
My son was. I'm usually his Burgess Meredith and shit, and Rocky and shit. He's mine right now. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, you got that, but he's like, whoa, this is really one. I said, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
So things are good on that end. Hopefully, though, more than anything, one thing I really do want to do is reflect these moments and these points in times. And I'm pretty sure other people are doing it or documenting in certain ways, but certain things,
Yeah.
Look, man. How can you explain steps to someone that wasn't there with the limited amount of photos that we have? We can't do that with Goldblatt's right now.
Right.
You can't do it with the McVickers. Being at the McVickers, checking out double feature karate movie with Godzilla and shit, and then the Mac come on, at the drive-in. You have to put the thing in the car. People think of that like it's the 50s with pinball.
Right.
We was going to Bel Air. We was all of the movies downtown. Think about just that.
I missed that too, man. Yeah.
I didn't miss Easter. Easter's crazy. Do you remember how Easter was downtown?
Yeah.
Hey, that's one for you.
Yeah.
But ask me, you can ask me anything that you feel like. You know, I just I could talk in the circles, but I do know
Yeah.
somewhere in here I'm getting nervous for my workflow.
Okay.
That's
Well,
all.
let's do this. Let's just
I
go
feel
ahead and cut
obligated.
it. I don't want to rush through anything because I wanted to
Okay.
kind of take it,
I
in the
hope it.
timeline fashion.
I hope it's decent. I feel like I'm after you showed me that one from the you know, the New York joint. That was they were part of the New York Times. That
Yeah.
interview, man. Dude, yeah, that was good. I was like, I guess I didn't care for that interview that much. But I was like, wow, okay, that sounds more relevant to me now. It's like that thing play again. Yeah, play it off and get to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, there was
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
couldn't wrestle with anything of that one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh,
So let's do this. We're gonna, and I want to apologize to the viewers
yeah,
because I didn't know that you had like a tight schedule today, but I totally understand. And again, I don't want to rush it because your history is
mhm,
so long. So what we'll do is we'll do a part two
yeah,
because I definitely want to kind of move it on like a timeline up until what you're doing today.
mhm.
Um, so how can people connect with you? Like, as a professional artist, how do people, if they want to, if they feel in your work, how do they get in touch with you if they want you to do something for them?
Yeah, I would just say, just email me, slangism. I check that out. I used to send people to you. I gotta get another Instagram. I got hacked, so
Oh
thousands of people
wow!
are going on that.
Oh
So
wow!
yeah, everybody used to reach out to me on that. But however, to be honest with you, I feel like my days are longer. I'm not
Okay.
scrolling right now. Everything is kind of focused on what I have to get done, the workflow, and I feel really good about it. But I because I one of my purpose is to like put the work out to share. So I
Hmm.
have to like make it a point to get that back up because I've gotten some just some of the messages I've got on there lets me know like some people it could be like a medicine, and I'm thinking to me I create the stuff I'm always present, and everything is a snippet of these points or places and times for certain pieces. You can make people's not even just day, but people invest in you. People want to see or want to be connected to that, you know, that period in time being created or that image that's made. People are just as well as we love, music and the arts and creative stuff and theater. There's people that look for, to fresh styles like it's the next Marvel movie. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, brother Slang, man, thank you, man, for this time, man. I appreciate you, bro. Hey, next time we get together to be on me for dinner. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying?
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Maestros, the service is amazing. I'm calling you on there. I got you online now. Maestros, it is, then, son. Meet you there
yeah.
Monday night.
Sit down and break some bread, man. And
All
again,
right.
like I say, enjoy each other's company, man. And we got to get you over to the museum. We got
Yeah.
like I said, we
Yes,
open up
I would definitely make it through. I
we
definitely
open up
make it through. I
Monday.
mean, I have to. I have to be there.
Yeah, because we have a brand new exhibit, and we got a nice section for Orc in there now. We got Peely in there,
Mm-hmm.
so we got the whole feds, section in there, bro. And it's just real nice. It's really nice. So we want you guys to come see it. Trix has been there, but it's been some time, so now he's got to come check out the new stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I get Tricks and man, both of us will roll on it through there. So,
yeah, that'll be
but
dope.
he probably Tricks probably gonna beat me there. You be like, hey, that's that. But
Yeah,
yeah, all
yeah.
right,
All right, my brother. Well,
all the
hey,
way
listen,
down.
man. Enjoy your rest of your work night, man. Take care of your business. It's good to always see you doing well. You know what I'm saying? And keep up the great work, my brother. I look forward to seeing you sooner than later.
All right. Word. Sorry, I got cut out. Yeah, but I look forward to doing another one though.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Catch me at one of them times.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
make sure that next time, you have enough time so we can go through it.
yeah. But
Okay.
great rapping with you though, brother.
Word
Be
up. All
well.
right.
All right. Keep it positive. Peace.
All right. Peace, my brother.
All right. Honor.
We out, y'all.
Word.